My wife slept with her boss, suggested an open marriage, and then changed her mind when I fell in love with another woman. Hello everyone. I never thought I'd come to this. Asking strangers on the internet for advice, but here I am. My wife and I have been together for 10 years, married for 8. We met in college and were each other's first and only. Honestly, I thought our relationship was unique because of that, but it seems I was the only one who thought so. Some time ago, my wife started working at a new company. At first, she struggled to fit in. She's always been shy. After I encouraged her, she became friends with a group of single women from work. At first, I was glad she found new friends, but then she started going out drinking and partying with them more and more. I became concerned about her behavior and tried to talk to her. But I didn't want to restrict her either. It started to affect our sex life. She had never really taken the initiative before, but now she was either too tired or not in the mood all the time. At some point, a new manager joined their team as someone she and her friends clearly liked. She began mentioning him in passing, but eventually she would talk about how he solved various problems, not all of them work-related. I asked her what was behind her admiration, but she brushed it off. Then she started asking if I regretted never having been with other women. I told her no, she had always been enough for me. I swear I saw a flicker of sadness in her eyes, but she quickly changed the subject. She brought up the idea of an open marriage as a way to spice things up. I was shocked. That didn't sound like her at all. I initially refused and asked if it had anything to do with that new manager. She denied it. She said she felt like she had missed out on experiences, but didn't want to lose me, and this could be a safe option. I warned her she was playing with fire, but eventually, naively, I agreed. We set a few rules, the biggest one being no bringing others into our home. So for about a year, my wife went on dates and had casual encounters, and surprisingly, she ended up dating that same manager. I, on the other hand, went on a few dates, but I couldn't bring myself to do one-night stands. It just didn't feel right. She would occasionally check in on how I was doing but didn't change her behavior. At some point, I realized the pure and innocent love I had for her had faded. It crushed me inside. Eventually, I went on a date with an amazing girl who had moved from South Korea. Our conversations were light and fun. She was witty, and her smile made me forget everything. Of course, it led to another date, and then we slept together. Honestly, I had never experienced intimacy like that. I didn't know a woman could be so attentive, making me feel so wanted. At first, my wife thought it was cute, but after a few months, she started questioning me about the woman I was seeing. I reminded her it was her idea in the first place, and that she was still seeing that manager, the one I had worried about. She stayed silent. It looked like she had something to say, but she held back. She began coming home earlier, cooking dinner, cleaning the house. She even started showing up at my workplace with lunch. She initiated sex, something she never used to do. Honestly, if it weren't for the open marriage, which I agreed to as well, my fault, all of this would have made me overjoyed. But I barely responded to her advances, and when I did, it felt empty. Something inside me had died, and I could tell she felt it too. I asked what had changed, why the sudden shift. She said she wanted to show me how much she loved me and that she was happy with our marriage. I couldn't hold it and I laughed. Asked about her flings, her lover, the manager, all those casual hookups. She didn't reply. She just cried herself to sleep that night. The next day, when I came home, she was waiting for me. She said she wanted to end the open marriage, that the whole experience was a terrible mistake, that she regretted everything and wanted to focus on our relationship again. I told her she had to be honest with me. What made her suggest it in the first place? As expected, she admitted it was her group of friends who encouraged her because of their own wild lifestyles. And when the manager showed up and surprisingly supported this idea, things spiraled into an emotional affair, and eventually a physical one, though supposedly only after we opened our marriage. As if that makes it any better, she described it as being in a drunken haze while driving a speeding car, thrilling and reckless, but now the price is too high. She said she now realizes she never needed to compare what we had, that it was already something rare and special. Now, she feels like she destroyed our marriage and our future together. I told her that I may never be able to see her as my wife again. She broke down crying. I just held her silently while she cried herself to sleep on my chest. Since then, she quit her job, cut off all contact with the manager and her friends, and said she's willing to spend the rest of her life making it up to me just to be my wife again. But I haven't broken things off with my girlfriend. To be honest, I feel like a real man again, like I could move mountains. My wife hasn't made me feel like that in years. The truth is, I don't know what to do. I want to get back that special feeling, if that's even possible. But my girlfriend quite literally saved me when I was at my lowest. Please help me. Also, I've almost forgot, in just a few hours, we're supposed to have our first couples therapy session. No idea how that will go.